Hello, scrapbookers and creative friends. This is Linda Petuch. I am an independent creative memories advisor in Jupiter, Florida, and I'm back with some Halloween fun. It won't be scary, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I like to call this Monster Mania. Cute Monster Mania. As a creative memories advisor, I'm part of a huge network of other advisors, and we share ideas all the time. And one of the ideas that was shared with me on YouTube is from an Australian advisor, and her name is Deborah Coswell Bank. She has a website called, or a YouTube channel called Creating Your Memories, and she used our Border Maker System zebra stripe punch. This is not it. That's the fence. The zebra punch. She used this one, which to make a fringe. Well, actually, it looks like a fringe if you cut the edge off, but she used it to make a sun, like a setting sun or a rising sun, and she used it to make the rays of the sun. And I thought, well, that's pretty neat. I like it. So of course I had to do that. You can see on the back, I just added the fringe cut there, and I'll show you that in a second. But I decided I would cut a circle, so I used our wonderful circle cutter, and I made a circle, and then I used the Border Maker cartridge and the Border Maker system and made the fringe to make the complete sun. So as I was looking at this fringes, and I'm thinking of some of the possibilities, of course Halloween is in my brain right now, so I decided that I wanted to I thought that looked like monster hair. So what I want to do is I want to show you how this border system works. It is fabulous. There are many, many cartridges that go with it. And the reason that I want to share it with you is that you are not limited by what the cartridge is called. So if you order this tool, it's a very nice bargain because you get this paper holder, and I'll show you how that helps in a second. You also receive this picket fence and the housing that holds the different cartridges. And I'm not going to use the picket fence, I'm going to use the zebra stripe. When you get this, you put the Creative Memories name inside, snap it in, and then you see these little knobs that are here. These interact with these grooves that are here on the paper holder. So you open that up, you lift the magnet up, the two magnets here. You slide your 12 by 12 paper in there, or your 12-inch paper. It doesn't have to be 12 by 12. Obviously, that isn't. You fold this back, and now it's being held nicely in that spot. So then you take your housing, and you punch along the edge here. You see it does make that beautiful stripe. I have to make a confession. When I first got my Border Maker system, I thought, I didn't watch the video or anything. I just started punching, and I didn't always have it. Sometimes with a little cattywampus. Now look at this. This is extra hair right here. And I've decided that, of course, I have to save all these confettis. I'm going to show you a photograph of how I'm organizing this, because I don't want to be called a hoarder. I'm an organized hoarder. So these are wonderful pieces of confetti that you can use. Get these out of the way. And then you take this out, and you do have this like a zebra stripe, but you can see how by doing a little trimming you can make it look like a fringe. This piece that is here, you want to get rid of that, and our 12-inch trimmer is fabulous because it will take you along the cutting line. You will be able to see exactly where you're going to be cutting. We have these little sight lines. You can take these down, shows you exactly where your cut's going to be. That looks good to me, so I will take that off. And now I have loose fringes here, and if I want to be able to attach them to something to make it look like monster hair, I'm going to have a little bit of an edge on it. Hello, I just didn't press hard enough. Go again. There we go. So I have detached that, and now you can take this little fringe, and by making little cuts in it, you can make it a little easier to move that's not a straight line either, a curve or something. So what I decided to do was use this as monster hair. Before I show you some of my monsters though, I want to tell you that after I did this, I started looking at my different punch cartridges, thinking, what else could they be? So I pulled them all out and I thought, oh, this flag could look like fangs to me. Let me pull this over to show you. So here's the zebra stripe. Here, look at the grass. That looks like teeth to me. These could be eyes. This could be eyes, mouth, other features. This could be eyes and eyebrows, and all these little pieces from other punches you can use as well. So as I looked at all these different punches and looked at some of the different features, they could be fangs, could be different things. But let me just start playing with it. So I used a couple different systems. I used our beautiful little circle cutter, and I used that to make a few circular shapes. I also used our gem cutting system. Now we have the circles, ovals, triangles, all kinds of different shapes. But by using the different blades, you can get your cut so that it is farther right on the edge that's cutting here, or it can get farther in so you get a smaller shape. So I'm going to put this back so I don't cut myself. Very nicely folds back in so that you don't get cut. Okay, let me move those out of the way. So let me just show you using some of these, and you wouldn't even have to do that. You could actually just cut rectangles or cut freeform shapes because these are monsters after all. So I cut some of these different shapes and then just looked at them, looked at my different shapes and decided what I wanted to make. Oh, they don't move very well in here. Here we go. All right, so here are some of my first little monsters. I have this giant purple one. I have this fiery looking, the eyes on this are actually the flames from our campfire punch that we have. It's a freestanding punch, but I thought, ooh, those could be expressive eyes. And these little lines that came, that are the eyebrows, came out of this other punch. So all this little confetti is a good thing to save. But of course, if you're going to save it, you want to have it in a bin. So I have a bin that I can put all my little things in here. Lauren Hines told me about getting these on Amazon. They have large and small, and I use them all the time. In this case, I just cut a rectangle. You'll see a rectangular monster. So how would I use these? Move little monsters, just 1 second. I've already put some foam tape and foam squares on them to show you. What I would do, I put 1 sheet of designer paper. This is from Totally Tonal Autumn. And I added a strip of the, which one was that? I believe that was, it might have been Totally Tonal Autumn, or it could have been Golden Harvest. But in any case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my monsters, and I did them on the left so that I could have their hair go over the edge here. And still, because they're on foam squares, they're lifted up so I can just slide a photograph right under there. So I have my little totem of monsters on there. Not too scary. Adds a really cute dimension on there as well. So I have that for these monsters. Then I decided, using this Totally Tonal, I love this designer paper, sweater weather paper. So I decided to do a double page. And I want to show you this because it's one of our other punches that was released for the autumn. It's a sweater weather paper. And then this is some of the Golden Harvest or Totally Tonal that you see kind of has an ombre effect. So what I did was I punched it so that I could make a double page spread. And then I'm going to have my little monsters. Where are my little monsters? My little monsters for here. I put their eyes, so this one will look to his left or her left. It could be a girl. And where's my other little one? Oh no, I moved it. I'm sure I'll find that little monster after I finish my video. But I just thought, okay, I will just show you. So I took one of my ovals that I got made from the cutting system. And I'm going to just go ahead and put a little bit of repositionable tape here. I'm using parchment paper. I do that so that I don't mess up my mats. or my table or whatever I'm working on. So I've already scored these a little bit so that I can bend this hair a little bit more. Beautiful purple monster hair. And since it's going to be on the other side here, it's going to be kind of peeking over. Let me just adjust that a little bit. I'm not going to put a mouth on this monster. Okay, so here's his hair, her hair. We can always add more if we wish. I'm going to use this for the eyes, as a base for the eyes. Now these two little monsters are going to be interacting, so put eyes. Looks like some cool kind of shades there. And then you can use a dot pen for this, but I'm just going to use this so that I don't have to wait for it to dry on your time. I'm just going to go ahead and put some repositionable tape, just hard on a little tiny thing. And I'm going to have it looking toward the other monster. They're communicating, monster communication. Now, primary teachers, I was a primary teacher for a long time before I started teaching science lab. You know, this time of the year, the kids are crazy off the wall, as we know. But imagine giving them like just a whole bunch of scraps of paper and have them create monsters. They could be like broccoli monsters or homework monsters, you know, the homework monster that ate their homework. And let me put a little eyeball looking over here. These are our dot pens. There we go. And this little monster can go here next to this one, have it peeking over as well. So they're having a little bit of an interesting conversation. But you can see how quick that is. Now I did want to show you, since I'm using this border, this is another border punch that was released for autumn, and that's the autumn leaf vine. And the thing is about it, since I wanted to have that ombre effect go from light to dark and then back dark to light, let me just show that when you're punching, move this aside for a second. When you're punching them out, if you haven't used these punches before, they're wonderful. They really help you. You're going to either start on the left or on the right, depending which direction you want to go. You just put your paper in there. So I have the dark side on this one. I'm going to punch. And then what you do is you just match the blue. You want to not see any blue. Make sure you push it up to the top on the other side. And you can get these beautiful borders. Looks like you worked all day to get this gorgeous border. And thanks to creative memories, it's pretty easy. All right, so if I wanted to do it so that the other side, remember I put it in the punch with the dark side here. If I wanted to make it so that it went from dark to light, light to dark, you would want to turn it back over. So that then you have it start the other direction, and that way it'll mimic it, but not have the other shades. You want to have the shades match. These borders these punches, there's something very satisfying about punching out paper, and then you get this beautiful addition to your pages. It's really nice. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I showed you that. I'll pinch off these little pieces. Easy to do. Now I have 2 more borders ready. I will take photographs of these like I do on pretty much all my videos so that you can see the finished product. But I wanted to show you something else. Another punch that came out. Creative Memories has several of these. They're frames and borders. And you know it's a frame punch when on the wings it has the silver lines here. And in order to make a frame, you can, it has to be even numbers. It has to be like a 6x6 square or a 8x8, 10x10. And because of course it's going to take some of the dimension away. So this is a 6x6 square, and I'm going to show you how you can make the punch, the border punch, the frame punch rather. So instead of lining it up, you could use it just as a 12-inch border punch as well. But instead I'm going to use, instead of using this line, I'm going to use these silver lines on the edge. So I'm going to punch it once, just like the other, you match twice, And I don't have a full punch here, so I'm going to turn it. And you're going to use that little square, that little protrusion there to line it up again. Again, turn. I love these punches. They're so wonderful. And as I said, it's just something really satisfying about punching out paper and ending up with something beautiful. One more. And when I finish this, this would be the perfect size for punching out, for matting a 4x4 photo. Of course, I'm thinking monsters right now, so I'm not going to. And I do have to say that several people have discovered, and I just jumped right on that bandwagon, that the edges that are here make really nice corners. So I'm saving those, and I'm putting them in another container so that I have these corners. So you could put little corners on your photos if you want to just add a little matting on top. Okay. So, and these squares, I keep these squares too, because you never know when you can use squares. I'll show you a picture of how I store my punches. I do have them very organized so I can use them at a moment's call. All right, so what am I going to do with these? I'm not just going to use them for a photo. I made a purple people eater, and I think he might fit this way. I like him better at an angle. So I can mat this, put this on a page. I've got a nice decoration. I made some others to show you as well. This was a rectangle that all I did was I cut out the rectangle just on the trimmer, on the 12-inch trimmer. And then I don't know if you're aware that our corner rounders, you can either make a rounded corner or you can turn this around, pop this in here, and it takes a bite out of it. So I thought it would be fun to have a bite out of it. So I have a bite out of these pieces here. And that was that. This is a circle chain border maker. And there you go. There's some more mats for your monsters. Yes. So I think, oh no, that's not everything I wanted to show you. Oh, this is getting long. I'm going to try to go faster. So I did want to show you, if you decide that you want to buy this, it's about $34, and you get the for the border maker system. You get one cartridge. You get the picket fence. Where's the picket fence? I had it right here. Is it in it? Oh, no, that's the zebra. You get the picket fence, and then that comes with the border maker system. I'm going to pop that in because I want to show you something special with this. So I'm going to take, and literally when I was doing all these monsters, I was using scraps of paper. So think about using that scraps and stuff that you have so you don't have to cut into another piece of paper. All right, so I'm going to use black cardstock for this, and I'm going to cut the picket fence. Remember, you just hook it right into those. You can actually feel the little knobs going in there. Now this is a punch that holds onto the paper, so you actually have the option of making this as wide or as narrow as you want, because you may want to add more of a border on there. But what I want to show you is something that, I keep these little rectangles too, something that Becky Belote shared, and that is weaving paper in this punch. So what you do, this is a 1/2-inch piece of paper, and all you do is weave it under and over until you get this beautiful effect. Isn't that fun? So you can do that as well. You can leave it plain. You could put it on another piece of paper if you want to see all the little pickets, or you could weave the paper. Fun. Now I want to show you one more thing, and then I promise I'll let you go. That is using our this border maker. Where did I put this? Here we go. I'm going to mix the cartridges. So I want to use, the newest one is, another Halloween release is the Stars and Bats, which also, I have to confess, makes some fabulous confetti. And you can take these dots and stars, which you'll see in a minute, and you can add them. So I am going to start with the bat. Remember, the creative member's name goes in. Again, you see this is just scrap paper, enough that can fit in here. hook this down. I'm going to do one bat, then I'm going to skip one, then I'm going to skip one, and now I'm going to switch these, and I'm going to put the ghost cartridge in. This was one from a year or two ago. Love it. Little chain of ghosts. So now I'm going to, or I did not punch before, I'm going to punch out the ghosties. So I can use this whole design. I'm going to save that confetti, but I won't take your time doing that now. Get my trimmer. So I have already cut a piece of cardstock, black cardstock, that I'm going to place this on. And I cut it, let me check. I cut it at 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to trim this at about 1 inch. I want to just release it, but not cut off any ghosts. So I need to check it, make sure where it's cutting. Go over a little bit more. So I want to cut those little ghosties off. Over a little bit more. All right, I think that looks good. All right. Now you could leave these on if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and it's not too much fussy cutting. Just trim that. So we don't need these pieces. Wait till you see how cute this is. I just love it. And you have to look, you can experiment, but pretty much you can mix up quite a few of our Border Maker cartridges to get a different design. This is what I came up with. I can't wait to share it with you. All right, so I put the design on there, and I did use the Victorian blade for cutting the bottom edge. So I already pre-cut this one. So I have this one here, and I'm going to do this here. And then once you put this down with your repositionable tape, then this beautiful confetti is what I did. Went in here, I thought the bats, I just left the bats black, but then I added some of the star confetti. And the best thing to do with that is to use the dot pen, the dot glue pen, and then your multi-purpose tool, fabulous for picking up the pieces that you need so that you can apply them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe make some monsters. It's really fun to put scraps out there and let people just be inventive and creative and do that for yourself. It's kind of a good mental exercise. Keeps you busy, keeps you doing creative things, but no stress. It's a no stress zone. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel so that I can keep up with you and you'll know when I make another video. I thank you so much for your time and for your support. Bye-bye for now.